Okay, I'm in the cockpit. I'm in the default 172 REP plane, and I basically want to show what Xchecklist looks like in VR. So I am in VR right now, and looks like the sky's cleared up quite a bit. It was really overcast this morning, but looks like it's a lot prettier out now. But so the checklist is being displayed right now. So in VR, the way Xchecklist works is you have a move bar on top, so you can pick it up. You can basically move it wherever you want. I've when I designed this for VR, I wanted it to be transparent. So even the text. So I want to be able to like see things, see right through things. So it doesn't block anything, no matter where you put it. It doesn't block anything, which is in VR to me, that's one of the most important things. I want to go over what how I have X checklist configured. So I'm going to go to the setup menu. So I'm going to go to the advanced menu, down to plugins, and Xchecklist, and open setup. So I have my setup window now, and so I have translucent windows on. The most important thing here in VR is this check mark here. You want show checklist to be marked, and you want the widget to be turned off. Something else that's important to me is I turn auto hide off, so that so the window doesn't like disappear on you. It's in VR, so wherever you put it, it's going to stay there. If you turn auto hide on, then the checklist disappears, and then you have to open it up again, and that's a bit of an annoyance. So, the show checklist, if checklists exist, sometimes I have it turned on, sometimes I don't. If you have it turned off, then you'll have to open it up with the menu. When it's turned on and checked like it is, it basically starts up attached to your headset, so you have to grab it and move it out of the way. A lot of times I find that annoying, and I would rather it be where I have to open it up, and then when you open it up from the window, the checklist is attached to your touch controller you used to open up the window. So I think we're all pretty good for here, and we'll continue. So I'm gonna close this out. This is a checklist that was made by the user Billowgarth, and and it is for the default 172 with the steam gauges. So we're basically good now. So I'm just going to click on next and follow the checklist to start the plane. So I click on next.
2 brakes. Test and set.
And we're
3 fuel selector. Both. 4 fuel shut-off valve. On. In. 6 beacon.
So I'm going to turn the beacon on.
On. 7 avionics switch. Off. 8 master switch.
I'm going to turn the master switch on. And this has Copilot. The pluses mean it's on Copilot. I'm not so sure why that didn't work. I'm going to turn it off and back on. Because actually it should have checked itself. It did not, but we'll move on.
On. 9 throttle.
So the throttle is all the way at idle. So I'm going to move it in.
Open 1/4 inch.
Okay, then it was happy.
10 mixture.
Next
Idle cut off. A auxiliary pump.
So turn the pump on.
On. B mixture.
They want the mixture to rich.
Until 3 to 5 GPH, then cut off. C auxiliary pump.
So we got it rich. I'm going to turn the pump back off.
12 starter.
So at this point in time, I can start.
Engage. 1 ignition switch. Start. 2 mixture, at engine start. Rich. 3 engine.
And I have my RPM a little too high, so I'm going to slow it down a little bit.
RPM 1000 RPM. 4 oil pressure. Check. 5 mixture. Lean max. 6 flaps. Retract. 7 avionics.
So I'm going to turn the avionics on. And the cross tie on.
Instruments.
And this doesn't have a plus sign, so that means that it won't advance only by me clicking on it.
Set. 1 brakes.
I don't have rudder pedals with me right now, so the brakes aren't going to work right. But the parking brake is on, so I'm just going to click it.
Check. 2 magnetic compass.
Same thing. There's no plus mark here, so I'll have to click it.
Movement free. 3 flight instruments.
Same thing.
Check. 1 parking brakes. Set. 2 flight controls.
And you notice that the checklist automatically moved to the next page. If you write your checklist correctly, they will automatically do that. And it's just such a convenience in VR where you don't have to go down here and click on next. If it's written correctly, once the checklist is completed, it will advance to the next checklist. There is an item that's called continue. If you write your checklist correct, it will continue to the next page. So, same way, there's no plus mark here, so I will click.
3 and correct. 3 flight instruments.
So I will click it.
Set. 4 fuel selector.
It's on both.
Both. 5 elevator trim.
Same way. My elevator is trimmed to it's trimmed for takeoff. So I'm actually not sure why that didn't advance. I would have thought it should have advanced. So I will click on it.
Set. 6 mixture. Rich for rune up. 7 autopilot.
And I'm gonna click on the disconnect button. I can hear it click. I can see it move. I would have thought that would have advanced, but it didn't. But this is kind of probably the first time. It's the first time I've recorded this this checklist, and I'm just going down through it. So I'm gonna click on it.
Disconnect. 8 throttle.
So they want me to go to 1800, so we'll go to 1800.
RPM. 9 ammeter.
So we're looking at the ammeter.
10 engine instruments. Check. 11 suction.
So we're looking at suction. It's in the green.
Right.
So I'm gonna try to go to right.
Check. Left.
Let's see why left ain't working. I'm on right now. Now I'm to left. but it's not working. So I'm going to go to both, and I'll just click on it.
Check. 13 throttle.
Now we want to go to idle.
Idle check. 14 radios. Erie INTL Tom Ridge FLD Information Zulu.
The ATIS works, so the radios are set. So I'll click on it.
Set. 15 brakes.
And I'm gonna basically I'm gonna stop the video right now. But you notice that I am in a rep airplane. So rep in VR, well, in non-VR, it gives you messages like this. So it says spark plugs will foul at this power setting or mixture setting. So I have the RPM is too low, so I have to speed the RPM up. And once the RPM is up around 1,000, then it will then the message goes away. So this I just like how well the rep stuff turned out in VR. It really is. It's a lot of fun, and it's quite immersive where the messages show up, and you know, if you have something wrong, and wherever you put it. So I'm gonna slow it down again to get the message back. I'm not sure what the delay is. It's going to take so long before it kind of goes, hey, wait a minute, you're too slow. So, there it is. But wherever you put the message, it's going to stay there. So if I move it down, like right here, and then I speed it up, the message will disappear. But if I pull it back out and idle it back down, the message will reappear in the same place. So wherever that is, that will always be there. So for any of the messages. So we're going to speed it up again. And message is gone. So, but that's pretty much what I wanted to show on Xchecklist. There's a couple of things on the way, just the way the checklist is working. It could be how I did it. It could be how the checklist is written. I need to investigate that a little more. But I just wanted to, once again, I'm just trying to show what I experience in VR, so that I am like so extremely happy, you know, with how VR has come along. So it's been a little over, almost 2 years. It's a little over 2 years, a couple of days past 2 years. When I first got VR would have been 2 years ago on my birthday, on the 9th of January. And that was the very first day I had VR. And I actually used, I was actually using a rep airplane. And on my first flight, when I was taking off, I didn't allow, like you see here, you know, the temperature's up in the green. I didn't allow that. I just says, I want to fly. So I basically took off out of this airport, out of KERI in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I went ahead and I took off, and did not let the engine warm up, and so I come up in 2.4, so I was going back in this direction. Come off the ground 1,000 feet AGL, and I could hear the engine. It was not happy with me. I'm 1,000 feet above the ground. And all of a sudden, I could hear the engine, bang. The prop stopped right in front of me. It's kind of like, I'm like a former student pilot. I have over, a little over 100 hours, couple hundred landings. My flight training told me if I was in a real airplane, don't turn, fly straight ahead. I'm in a flight simulator in VR. I'm like, what can we do? So I did a very, very, very gradual turn. Erie's Airport is 8,500 feet. All I needed to do was get it underneath me. I was golden. One of my better landings, at that point in time, never ever flew VR flat screen again. Just never did it. Only fly in VR anymore. And I am a GA person. I love GA. That's what I fly. So I think we're pretty good. I think for right now, I'll end the video like we are, and so showing off once again what you can do in VR. So I'm basically recording this with OBS. So all I need to do is come over, click on the OBS, and I'm going to stop the recording. So click.